So to get associated with our section of ALEKS this semester, we just need to put in our course code, which if you're here with me on this page, we can type it together, 44LY6 JMUFF. Right-hand corner of your syllabus. I'm going to click Continue. And so it should come up here with Math 95, Spring 17. Here's my name, Dr. Salamone. Here's our school. So clearly we've got the right class code, which is great. Now all we have to do is click to continue. Now, if you've taken Math 95 before, or if you've used ALEKS in any other course anywhere else before, so if you took a course at another college that used ALEKS, then you already have an ALEKS login name, and you can just select that, and if you remember what it is, you can type it in here. But if this is your first time landing in ALEKS ever, and you've never used it before, we'll go through that branch of this tree. So we'll choose I've never used ALEKS before, or I don't have a login name. Now it prompts you for an access code. So the first thing it does is just sort of explains what ALEKS is, it figures out what you already know, and then it takes you on a path to success, so it gives you the next thing that you're ready to learn based on what you've already demonstrated. If you're using the financial aid temporary access code, your access expires, there it is, on February 4th, and so by then you'll need to have your permanent access code for the semester. It's going to give you a couple little tool tips to show you around the screen, notifications in the upper right, suggestions on the left-hand bar. This big white lozenge button that you see on your ALEKS homepage is, if you don't know where to click in ALEKS, click that. It'll take you to the best next thing for you to do. And the first task here is to complete the tools tutorial, so we'll just click on that lozenge and get the tutorial started. When you enter an answer into an answer box in ALEKS, you can use the keyboard. Can and should use the keyboard to just type it in, 14. Use the X button to clear, the undo button to undo, and the next button submits your answer and moves on to the next question. Sometimes it gives you immediate feedback on your answers. Sometimes the feedback is delayed to the end of an assignment. It just depends on what you're doing at that given time. And of course, one of the tricky things about an algebra class is a lot of the answers that you have to enter are not simply just numbers, but they involve algebraic notation, fractions, radicals, exponents, all kinds of stuff that you can't just directly enter into a keyboard. And so for those kinds of expressions, there'll be what's called the math palette over here on the right that gives you the tools that are most useful potentially for the problem that you're answering. So if this problem has me enter in a fraction as an answer, then it'll have a fraction button that I can use. Clicking that gives me a little template where I can type a number in the numerator, and I can type a number in the denominator, and then I have my fraction. So if you're not sure how to enter an answer in the format that ALEKS is looking for, just look in the Tools tablet over on the right, and it should have the buttons that you need in order to build the expression that you need to answer your question. Parentheses you can enter directly in from the keyboard, and are especially important if we're going to build an expression where something like a fraction or something like an exponent is going to apply to a whole quantity. So applying to the quantity x plus 4, if I want an exponent on that, I'll put it in after I've entered the expression in parentheses. Also, and this is the cause of a lot of heartache in any online math system, take a look at where your cursor is located. Here my cursor, my blinking cursor is in the exponent. If I want to continue and write another part of this expression which isn't in the exponent, it means I have to bring the cursor down, which you can do either by clicking, as it recommends, or you can just use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move the cursor around too. Whichever is most convenient for you. I'm kind of a old keyboard purist, so I tend to like arrow keys, but your mileage may vary. And if I want to take this expression that I just entered and make all of it part of a fraction, I can highlight it and then click the fraction button. Doing that makes that expression the entirety of the numerator, and then I can put whatever I want to put in the denominator. So over the semester, you'll gain a feel for how to use these tools. Most of them are pretty intuitive as far as writing algebraic notation. Graphing is kind of my least favorite thing, and I think that's coming up next on the tutorial. So if there is a question that's going to ask you to graph a line, and we will have a number of those questions this semester, you'll have this line graphing tool. And the way that ALEKS has you graph lines is supposed to mimic what you would do with a pencil and paper. So what they have you do first is plot a single point. So using the pencil tool, click to create a point on the graph. Then, to create your line, you'll take a virtual ruler lay it down at that point, and then lay it down at another point. So you click in two places to lay a ruler down on your axes. And once all of that is done, you pick your pencil back up again, and you swipe your pencil across the ruler to create your line. It's a multi-step process, and if at any point in answering a question you don't remember how to use one of the tools, find the little help button. It's usually in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. It's not right now, but the little help button will give you a refresher on how to use these tools. I think graphing a line is the least intuitive thing that you do in the ALEKS online environment, but there's, again, always a help refresher if you need it. There are some problems, not many, this semester that will have a calculator pop up for you to use in ALEKS. Our course isn't really about arithmetic and mental gymnastics and that kind of stuff. Most of the arithmetic that we do in Math 95 is sort of basic 1- and 2-digit addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So for that reason, we want to prioritize algebra and not arithmetic this semester, and so calculators are not a part of our lives in Math 95. But if a calculator does pop up in ALEKS, it'll pop up as an available button over here on the right, and clicking on it, you can just use it pretty much as a standard calculator. 1 plus 9 equals, and then you get 40. But if it's not there, then there's no way to actually access it. So whether or not you can use it depends on whether or not ALEKS has included it in a given question. And that's pretty much it. So once you've hit this screen, where you've unlocked your initial knowledge check, that's where I'd like for us to hit pause for right now.